Coronation Street's Theo and Carl to clash tonight over dark secrets. Coronation Street ignites a full-blown villain showdown tonight as Theo Silverton and Carl Webster go head-to-head, armed not with fists, but with the kind of secrets that can destroy lives. With both men now holding scandalous leverage over the other, Weatherfield's newest feud escalates into a high-stakes psychological war. The revelations they've uncovered leave them locked in an uneasy stalemate, but in a town where grudges turn lethal, how long can that balance possibly last? A confession overheard, and a villain's opportunity. Carl can barely believe his luck this week when he overhears Theo quietly unraveling, tormented by the truth of what he did to Billy Mayhew in the Corriedale crash. Theo, viewers will remember, made a decision that still chills. Rather than save Billy from the burning minibus, he deliberately left him strapped in, ensuring he would die in the explosion that followed. Alone with Billy's coffin, Theo lets the mask slip, lamenting his actions and exposing a guilty conscience he's tried desperately to bury. But Theo wasn't alone. Carl was listening, and for Carl Webster, Weatherfield's notorious love rat, manipulator and opportunist, it's not just information. It's ammunition. Already at odds with Theo after seeing him viciously berate Debbie over the accident, Carl is more than pleased to discover dirt this devastating. At last, he has something that can hurt Theo where it counts: a funeral, a warning, and mind games begin. In Wednesday's episode, Carl begins to play his hand. He waits for the right moment, a quiet pocket of time on the day of Billy's funeral, before approaching Theo. The setting couldn't be more charged. Grief in the air, emotions raw, the town gathered in mourning. Carl doesn't need to shout. He doesn't need to accuse. Instead, he needles Theo with veiled remarks, calculated, suggestive, and just specific enough to leave Theo rattled. The message is clear. I know what you did. And I'm not afraid to use it. Theo is left visibly fearful, forced to confront the nightmare he thought he'd kept hidden. But if Carl believes he's cornered his rival, he's about to learn a hard truth of his own, Carl's hero moment, and the truth behind it. Later, Carl finds himself in a terrible predicament, one that flips the dynamic on its head and makes this feud far messier. Dramatic scenes unfold at the Chariot Square Hotel as masked robbers storm in, descending on the reception desk where Ryan Connor is working. They demand cash, and when Ryan can't comply fast enough, the situation turns brutal. Outnumbered and vulnerable, Ryan is subjected to a nasty beating. It's tense, violent, and deeply unsettling, until Carl miraculously arrives to intervene. In a moment that looks almost heroic, Carl scares the robbers off, saving Ryan from further harm. After the attackers flee, Carl calls the police and reports that £3,000 is now missing from the hotel safe. Ryan is shaken but relieved, and hugely grateful to Carl for stepping in when it mattered. But with Carl Webster, things are never as they appear. Theo catches Carl red-handed. Because soon after, Theo spots Carl doing something that makes his stomach turn. Theo sees Carl in cahoots with the robbers, meeting them in secret and paying them for their hard work. It becomes clear that the entire incident may have been orchestrated, another ruthless financial scam designed to line Carl's pockets, with the added bonus of winning Ryan's trust in spectacular fashion. It's classic Carl: manipulate the situation, profit from the chaos, and come out looking like the good guy. But this time, he's been seen. Theo quickly snaps a photo of Carl's furtive meeting and wastes no time in using it. He may not know the full details, but he can tell immediately that Carl is up to something seriously dodgy, and now Theo has evidence. Blackmail meets blackmail, and the gloves come off. Theo confronts Carl, threatening to expose him, but Carl isn't the type to fold. If anything, he doubles down, with a threat that cuts straight to the bone. You bully my sister again and I'll rip your throat out, Carl warns. Then comes the real sting: and I'll tell your mates about your guilty conscience. I heard you sniveling, but don't you know that corpses can't forgive? Question is, though, will Todd? It's a calculated strike. not aimed at Theo's reputation in the street, but at the one person who matters most, Todd. Carl knows that if Todd learns the truth about Billy's death, about Theo's role in it, Theo's life in Weatherfield will implode overnight. But Theo doesn't flinch. Instead, he calls Carl's bluff with a response that lands like ice. Why don't you tell him? And you might end up in a box. It's not just a comeback. It's a promise. A chilling warning that Theo is prepared to silence Carl permanently if he dares to speak, who's really in danger. The episode leaves viewers with a deliciously tense question hanging in the air. Is Carl underestimating Theo, a man who has already proven he's capable of letting someone die? Or is Carl about to turn the tables, using Theo's secret as the ultimate weapon? One thing is certain, this is no longer petty rivalry. It's mutually assured destruction, and with both men now armed with leverage, the next move could be catastrophic. Because in Weatherfield, secrets don't stay buried for long, and when villains collide, someone always pays the price. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.